Let's talk about a real concealed carry setup. One that is not only effective, but keeps you from looking like one of those sheepdog mall ninjas. First, we're gonna talk about the belt, and then we're gonna get to the holster. Full disclosure, this belt was actually sent to me by the company. They reached out to me and offered me a chance to review it. I agreed on a condition that I would be able to test the belt for an entire month and have a full, honest review. So this is the Core Essentials EDC gun belt. This piece right here is one that I have not had experience with, but I knew people who did. So before I even accepted the offer, I reached out to them first to see what they thought. And overwhelmingly, the results were positive. So naturally, I wanted to test it for myself. You may have heard of this company in the EDC sphere for one of their designs that is absolutely standout in my opinion. I've used belts before that are just standard belt buckle style, ones that are Cobra buckled, and now these. And I can confidently say, this is one that I have the most confidence in, but also the most comfort in. And it all happens with this buckle and this track system. This particular model is the USA-made EDC gun belt with the X4 buckle in Ranger Green. They have a ton of other options, and I was very tempted to go with one of the Desert Tigers, which unfortunately was out of stock at the moment, but it's back now, or one of the leather style ones. However, I figured because I tend to wear some like tech wear and just general modernized clothing, nothing too professional or nothing too tactical, I wanted to go with something that would maybe fit that bill a little bit better. Now again, let's get back to that buckle. This buckle design has a ratcheting system, which connects to this piece on the inner belt. This micro adjustable track system adjusts in 1/4 inch increments, which means you can get a nearly perfect fit no matter how you want to wear it. The belt slides in to your buckle and ratchets right along this track here, keeping it very secure, and can be quickly released with this small paddle here. Pop it forward and you can pull out the belt and readjust it to your liking. This I found to be extremely comfortable. Whether I was carrying that day or not, this allows me to adjust it on the fly. So if I were sitting down or chilling in a different position, I could quickly loosen it just a couple notches to get that little bit of extra room. Or if I felt things had shifted or loosened up throughout the day, I can easily tighten it right back up. And with that being said, I felt no slippage throughout any of the days I wore this. Whether it was casual day wear or going on hikes, which I did with this belt, it performed flawlessly. If you are curious at all, let's go over some of the other details before we get to the holster setup. This particular belt, again, was made in the USA. They do have versions that are not, which are a little bit cheaper, but this one was produced and manufactured in San Diego. They produce a one-size-fits-mostly-all kind of belt system, with the leather going up to about a 54-inch and the tactical expanding up to a 72-inch. And of course, this is with a pistol as well. They can hold an insane amount of weight for a belt, with roughly being up to 8 pounds, 8 to 10, with this nylon style, or some of the leather or other options going up to around 4 pounds. Both plenty good for what you're gonna need it for. And the combinations on this thing are virtually endless. Again, I said I wanted to get a Desert Tiger stripe, but settled for the Ranger Green because that's what was in stock at the time, and I love it. The number of different buckles you can get as well are fantastic. Ones that look like standard belt buckles, ones that are like this, kind of a mix in between, or ones that are more tactical or even flashy. And it all locks on with some teeth and a couple screws too. What's really cool about this belt is they send you a one long belt for, again, the one size fits mostly all. And you trim it to size with their handy guide and markings on the inside, clamp the teeth over and screw it in for a nearly impenetrable lock. I have a ton of confidence in this, but I know that I can adjust it if I wanted to. So let's say I lose a bunch of weight, I can trim it just a little bit shorter. However, if you noticed in the videos, I tend to keep my belt a little bit longer on this side. They do have accessories like this little retention web right here that allows you to keep it just tighter to the belt, but I have no real problem with that. It tucks in the belt loop in the pants that I wear anyway. And if you've watched this far, I'm guessing you're probably a little more serious about this or interested in buying one for yourself. They come with a 30-day money-back guarantee or a 1-year warranty replacement, which is pretty darn solid. They do stand by these products from what I can tell. And they offered me a coupon code to offer to you guys, which would be Gear.Locker 10. I'm gonna link that below, but that's 10% off any of the products on their website, including belts like this, which I highly recommend you take advantage of. I get nothing from that, but I am a fan of these belts, and I wanted to extend that to you guys as well. Once again, a huge thank you to Core Essentials for sending out this belt for me to take a look at and try out, and I'm gonna implement it into my rotation now. I appreciate them being willing to let me do a no-holds-barred, honest review, and honestly, I have nothing bad to say about this. I can see where the hype is all online, and with my friends who have used this belt in the past. Well worth it in my opinion, and one that keeps you comfortable and concealed. Oh, also forgot to mention, they sell a lot of accessories like this belt hanger right here, which has a spot for you to fit your Allen key, your web keeper, and locking on your belt. So you can hang a few of these if you have some different styles. And speaking of style, let's get to that holster. I'm a bit of an HK fan. which is why I rock an HK P30. Unfortunately though, holsters are not too readily available for an option like this. It's not the Glock that everyone carries. I had limited options for my holster, but Tier 1 Concealed was one of the highest quality manufacturers that I found, so I picked up this beauty right here. This is their Axis holster. Not their Axis Elite, unfortunately, but my custom Axis. This is a standard inside the waistband sidecar style holster with the option to carry the pistol and an additional magazine. And what sets this apart from other designs, whether they have hinges or buttons, is the bungee shock cord. And for me, this was one of the features that I love the absolute most. I'm not necessarily a fan of things that are kind of locked into an orientation, pivoting around one point. This bungee system allows it to kind of cant just a tad, which allows me to get a different angle and can adjust it to my comfort. And everything else on this holster adjusts very nicely. I worked with the clips and got it to sit at a particular ride height that I liked, which is typically a little bit lower. I'm not the skinniest guy out there, but I didn't even need wedges to keep this thing concealed. And if you're a vintage fan like me, I had to add that 6-color chocolate chip camo on the front. Very cool little design that I think adds some personal flavor to this. Retention on this piece is absolutely fantastic. I have zero concerns with this falling out whatsoever, and it can be adjusted for different tightness, of course. All things that you want to see in your high quality holster. But of course, rocking with the P30, I have limited options, so this is what I ended up going with, and I have zero regrets. Thank you guys for checking out this video, and I hope you enjoyed me showcasing both of these products. Tier 1 Concealment did not sponsor this video at all. Core Essentials did, and truthfully, I can say this is one of the best products that I have reviewed to date. Gear.Locker 10 is the 10% off coupon code. I would highly recommend going to pick up one of these belts for yourself. Even if you don't conceal carry, this is a fantastic piece that is rigid, adjustable, and customizable, which are some of the things we can hope for in a market like today. As always, this is the Gear.Locker. Protect yourself and those you love, and we'll see you guys in the next one.